The belief in an afterlife dates back at least to the Neanderthals, who buried their dead with flowers, jewelry, and utensils, presumably for use in the next world. And throughout recorded history, people have reported many phenomena that would seem to indicate evidence of survival past the point of bodily death. Could the nearly universal nature of cultural belief in some sort of survival be based upon experiences humans have reported in all known cultures for thousands of years? The evidence in favor of an afterlife is vast, varied, and ancient. It comes from near-death experiences, deathbed visions, apparitions, children who remember previous lives, and apparent communications from the departed received via human mediums. These lines of evidence, very different from each other, all point in the same direction. These impressive lines of evidence will be examined in this book, yet various objections have been raised against all of them. Thus, much more than mere evidence needs to be provided if we are to decisively settle this controversial issue. It is also necessary to carefully examine these objections to see if they withstand critical scrutiny. As we will learn, many of these objections, such as fraud or mistaken eyewitness testimony, are easily dealt with. Others are intractable, and so continue to appear in the literature decade after decade, with no apparent resolution in clear sight. The far and away most stubbornly persistent of these intractable objections is the often cited protest that various forms of super-powerful extrasensory perception may more simply explain the evidence. The idea that extrasensory perception, ESP, could be used to plausibly explain the evidence for survival, including apparent communication from the dead via human mediums, is an idea that persistently appears in the literature on survival decade after decade. After the idea that mediumistic communication could be explained as simple ESP between medium and sitter was refuted by the invention of proxy sittings, in which a third party with no connection to the deceased visits the medium as a proxy sitter, the theory of super ESP was advanced, that is, the idea that mediums may unconsciously employ vast, virtually unlimited powers of telepathy and clairvoyance, far superior in scope and power than anything documented in other contexts, with the purpose of deceiving both sitters and themselves that the dead are in fact communicating.